Dog refused to leave the woods. Then his owner saw the reason why. But before we start, smash the like button and make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any new stories. The forest behind Michael's property had always been a favorite playground for his Labrador, Max. Loyal, energetic, and well-trained, Max would bolt into the trees the moment Michael unclipped his leash. He always came back after a few minutes, tail wagging, tongue lolling until one morning, when he didn't, Michael called out like he always did, "Max, let's go!" The response was silence. No jingling collar, no rustle of branches. He ventured deeper into the woods, expecting to find Max sniffing something interesting, but the dog was frozen in place, staring at a thick cluster of brambles just off the path. "Max!" Michael tried again, a bit sharper this time. The dog turned his head, acknowledged him, then looked back at the brambles. He didn't move, he didn't bark. It was as if something was holding him there, not physically, but emotionally. Michael frowned. This wasn't like him. After a few minutes, Michael clipped on the leash and gently tugged. Max resisted, not aggressively, just stubbornly. He kept turning back, pulling toward the bushes. Finally, Michael gave in. "Okay," he muttered, "what's got your attention?" He crouched and peered into the dense growth. At first, he saw nothing. Then he heard a soft, almost imperceptible whimper. It wasn't Max, it was higher-pitched, weak. He leaned in further and pushed aside the branches. His breath caught. Tucked beneath the brambles was a tiny creature. At first glance, it looked like a puppy, but something wasn't right. The animal was matted with mud and leaves. Its fur was dull, and it shivered uncontrollably. Michael gently reached in and pulled it free. It weighed next to nothing. As he cradled it in his arms, Max gave a soft, approving bark and wagged his tail. Whatever it was, Max had chosen to protect it. Back at the house, Michael wrapped the pup in a towel and gave it water. It was too weak to drink much. He called a local animal rescue center, and they sent someone within the hour. The volunteer, a young woman named Lena, took one look at the animal and froze. "That's not a dog," she said quietly. Michael raised an eyebrow. "Then what is it?" Lena gently examined the creature. "It's a fox kit," she confirmed. "Probably abandoned or orphaned. Without Max, it wouldn't have lasted another night." She looked at the Labrador, who sat proudly nearby, still watching over his new friend. They brought the kit to the Wildlife Rehabilitation Center. Over the next few days, Michael visited often. Max came with him each time, tail wagging furiously when he saw the little fox. The connection between them was undeniable. The kit would even try to stand when Max approached. As the days passed, the kit now named Finn grew stronger. He was still fragile, but the progress was remarkable. Michael began documenting the journey, posting updates online. The story of Max and Finn quickly spread, drawing attention from animal lovers around the world. Eventually, the time came to release Finn back into the wild. It was a bittersweet day. Michael stood at the edge of the woods with Max beside him. The rehabilitators opened the crate, and Finn stepped out cautiously. He turned once, looked at Max, and let out a soft, chirp-like sound. Max whined and took a step forward, but Michael held him back. "Let him go, buddy," he said gently. "You did your job." Finn stared a moment longer, then darted into the trees. The woods swallowed him up, and the silence that followed felt sacred. Max seemed different after that. He still loved the woods, still chased squirrels, and rolled in the grass. But sometimes he would stop by the bramble patch where he had found Finn. He would sniff, sit quietly for a while, then return home with a calmness in his eyes. Michael often wondered what Max had seen or sensed that day. It wasn't just curiosity. It was something deeper. Instinct, maybe. Or compassion. Whatever it was, it had led to saving a life. And in return, Max had found a purpose that went beyond playtime or fetch. Months later, Michael was walking Max through the woods when the dog suddenly froze. His ears perked. A second later, from the shadows, a red shape darted out quick, sleek, and unmistakable. Finn. Grown now, wild and graceful. He stopped just long enough to look at Max. Max stood still, tail wagging slowly. No barking, no chase. Just recognition. Then Finn turned and disappeared into the forest. Michael blinked, unsure if he'd imagined it. But Max didn't move for several minutes. He just stared at the place where the fox had stood. They never saw Finn again, but they didn't need to. The story had run its course, the bond honored in full. Max had returned to his normal routine, but Michael always knew there was something quietly heroic about his dog, something unspoken, something noble. Years passed and Max grew old. He moved slower, napped longer. On his final walk, he paused once at the edge of the woods, nose lifted to the breeze. Michael waited beside him, silent. After a moment, Max turned and trotted home, his tail giving one final happy wag. Michael buried him beneath the old oak at the forest's edge. A week later, while tending the grave, he found a single feather and a small pile of twigs arranged like a nest. No fox in sight, just traces. "Thank you," Michael whispered, and the woods, as always, stood still and listening.